Right, I decided to be funny and try out daily race A with a fully clapped out Chama car, but it didn't take me long to realize that Suzuki Carry is not a fucking race car, and I witnessed that full force by smashing into a wall and having an absolute makeout session with it. Not long after, I decided to try my luck at Daily Race B, which was a combination I kinda liked, but I haven't raced this in like 3 years, so to say I'm rusty is very small. With my last shot at this track was probably in 2021, I'm just gonna be super hyper cautious. I'm not gonna take too much risks, as this car in front of us, the Mazda, has sent an absolute overtake and nearly went off track. Again, I'm playing cautious. I don't want to lose my DR. I just want to keep my DR high. So I'm just playing it smart, Lewis Hamilton type. I tried to force an overtake somewhere that wasn't really a gap, and I ended up hitting it. So this is the corner where I like most, because like you can really delay your braking. But again, I don't really have much confidence, and I'm just playing it super hyper cautious as the absolute mayhem starts kicking in, and I get caught up in it and pushed off into the sand. And that was my final trend. Fuck this shit, I'm quitting. I'm gonna become a golf player. I'm gonna become a fucking chef. I'm not playing this. And by becoming a fucking chef, of course, I'm gonna cook in Daily Race C. But I'm not gonna cook the race, I'm gonna cook my wheel, because it was overheating like shit, and I had it plugged off to cool it down. Oh shit, I forgot to start on my wheel. Calibrate, 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 quick! Alright, calibrate. Oh my god, no, my screen is off, my screen is actually off. I'm in. Turning it on just in time before the fucking race. Yeah, my wheel was overheating all day long for no reason at all. I have only done like 30-minute session on it, and I have no idea why it's just that bad in terms of heat management. So as the cars line up, the clock starts ticking, lights out, and away we go. Starting in the fan favorite position, P6. I'm gonna be working my way up if I want to win at this race, but a new element has been introduced, and it's called being patient and having to fucking guess where your steering wheel wants to go, because my force feedback is very, very unreliable and inconsistent. So as this British driver goes for an absolute scent, I'm getting to enjoy the full force of my force feedback before I knew it was actually gonna disconnect on me. I thought turning the wheel off for 1 minute is gonna help cool it down and aid in this race, just make it lap fully, but it was not enough. But at least I get to enjoy the mayhem and not face any losses. What the fuck is going on? Right, it was an absolute bloodbath. Everybody was fighting left, right and center, and the only way to go is by hitting other people. It was like bumper cars for real. Anyway, looking into this Ferrari, I want to overtake, but there is no real opportunity right here, so I sit back and relax and look for another opportunity. Now this hairpin is an amazing overtaking opportunity, so I tried to hang it around the outside, but the driver was very, very tight with it. So he didn't give me any space, and I couldn't really make the overtake, making me lose about 2-3 positions. I cannot really see. But again, it's still very much a bloodbath on lap 1, and we're about a pack of 4 right now, maybe 5. Cars are coming and going, I cannot really tell what's going on, but I'm on the outside of the spoon curve, and this is a horrible position to be in as I get pushed off. Pushed me off! Clearly my dissatisfaction is present, and on top of this being a dirty lobby, my force feedback is gonna start playing games somewhere around in lap 2 or 3, and that's when my wheel starts to overheat. And the only thing different from usual is that my room is slightly hotter than normal. And you can see me touching my nose and face a lot, and that was because I am actually sweating, because my room is hot. And my FFB motor shares the same feelings as me, and it's hot. I have no FFB, I actually have 0. What the? Yes, and that's when I start using FFB. And I got absolutely bamboozled by that car. And now we get to witness another bloodbath, and it's a pack of 6 this time. What the? Yeah, I do not want to participate in that. I just want to get the fuck out of there. I love being in a mess, but not when my rank is on the line. So I just want to get out of there and just look to make as much position as possible. But my steering is very vague, and as we progress through the race, my motor is just losing it and losing it more. I'm right now, I'd say, at about 40% FFB. And that's very, and I mean very different from what I'm used to. So it's literally a lot of guesswork, and I have to adapt quickly on the fly. And I wish it was the worst, but it did get much worse by the end of the race. So now at least I get to enjoy what is like 50% FFB. I get to fight with the Ferrari as I almost get pushed off the track as another car joins from outside the track. It is a mayhem. This fat ass Ferrari wanted me through. And yeah, I make the overtake on the Ferrari nice and through into P3. Unfortunately, my 300 said cook itself.
I swear I'm not even driving. I'm like driving 80%, 70% of my actual performance because my FFB is practically at 10%. I swear to God, I feel nothing in the wheel.
Apparently, it's a common issue with the T300s to overheat a bunch, and many of the Thrustmaster wheels. And this is not really what you want. I would actually go for a weaker FFB, but still have more performance longer on. And that makes it, I'd say, unreliable, but not really, I'd say inconsistent more. So I'm playing the guessing game.
My front is wearing out because I have no idea where to place my wheel at.
And usually you would be turning, you would feel where is the maximum potential to turn the wheel, and if you go past that point, you would just go into understeer. Now with no FFB, you cannot feel that, and that's a big issue. So around 130R, I'm still flabbergasted that car is still there, and I absolutely lost it and sent it almost into the wall because I got so surprised by that car. I genuinely felt like I would crash into it, and I swerved to try and evade it.
That car is fully stopped on track, like I was actually...
And it's been there for like 2-3 laps now.
Why am I still ghosted?
And that was because I didn't know there is another car between us three. But that other car introduced himself nicely.
Of course.
My facial expressions and sarcasm says it all. This happens all the time. Why? Because I keep rage quitting races and my sportsmanship went from S to B in the span of 2 races because I rage quit. One of these racing, by the way, being a daily race A where sportsmanship should not be ranked, I swear to God. That carry fucking race ruined me. Anyway, clear with the Ferrari, I'm gonna skip forwards into the rounds where I'll pit. Now I head straight into the pits.
Okay, I did it, good.
The pit stop boys will take good care of the car. As usual, car goes in, old tires out, new tires in. No fuel this time, we're just switching from soft to hard. And usually I always like to start on the harder compound, but I forgot about the strategy. Anyway, I head out in about P6. I get overtaken P6 right there. And I have to work my way through. But I'd say at least half these cars are yet to start their first pit stop. If not half all, so it shouldn't be hard, but a bunch of them are actually on hard, so it's a mix, and it's gonna be a bit of a gamble to see who comes out on what, and that's my issue. I'm now on hards, and I have not practiced these tires at all. 0 laps.
Some of my FFB has restored, so I can feel the track a bit better.
But luckily, as I said, some of my FFB has restored due to the wheel cooling down in the pits, and it's a big issue to the point where I am actually running the wheel naked, without the top, without the lid, so that I get to keep it cooler for longer. And for some reason, instead of lasting the usual 2 to 3 hours, it lasted only 30 minutes before thermal throttling.
I swear it's like a suggestion.
And yeah, the steering was like a suggestion. As I start losing all sense of, I'd say, resolution through this corner, I really have no idea where I'm putting anything at. I don't know where the wheels are going.
Nothing.
Yeah, I know nothing. I feel nothing, and that's horrible. I'm usually like I like it on the heavy end, and you can see how I'm struggling with practically no FFB. I can barely feel it. Yeah, it is there, but it's abysmal. Yeah, I barely feel it. It's coming suddenly after the end of every straight, like maybe 1, 2, 3 seconds into cornering. After that, it vanishes completely, and that's how it's going. It's as the motor is cooling and heating up and cooling and heating up. So I've been researching cooling mods, and in terms of cooling mods, there is no real meta. You just gotta get creative with it. You have to DIY it. So my DIY solution was to just take the cap off, and that's it. I'm sitting with no cap. I'll just make sure that I get dirty, and that's what I'm gonna do. And I've seen people with, I'd say, similar solutions, but they didn't just fully take the cap off. They just drilled the cap, or they drilled the cover. Some people installed extra fans. I considered ordering an extra fan, but I'll test out the taking the cap off solution. And if I have no issues with it, I have no things falling, no dust, I'll just stick to it. But if it gets a little dusty, I'll just get an extra fan, exhaust the air out, and I'll hope that works.
I don't feel my FFB. My throttle inputs have become very vague, and it's more, I'm really guessing.
And yeah, because of the FFB, barely any throttle input. Not really sure where I'm putting my throttle because I don't feel where the tire is at. Because it's not about visuals and sound. you get to feel a bunch with the wheel, you get to know what's sort of happening. And without that extra feeling, you become sense blind in a way. This is why I see real life racing as easier compared to simulator racing, because you get another sense in real life, and that is your ass is on the chair and you can feel the movement. And that gives your brain way more information and helps you process more and just helps you know where to guide what and what to do exactly. And that's what I struggle here, or that's what every sim racer struggles. You don't really have motion. You have the FFB, sound, and visuals, and that's about it. So the more senses you can add, the better of a racer I can say you'd become. And now I have lost one of these, and you can see how big of a performance impact that is, because again, the wheel still works perfectly fine. Only issue is very low FFB. As this guy demonstrates an absolute skill issue, the white Ferrari is back, slips in my inside.
I do not feel my wheel whatsoever.
Exactly. No FFB, and it's just being very, very vague, and I just want to get it on. At this point, wherever I finish, as long as my DRBR, DRSR goes up, I'm doing it. That's the only reason I didn't leave, is because I don't want my DR to be affected, and that's why I'm just keeping my head low. I'm just sticking to the end, because I'm in a good position right now. As you can see, we have the Portuguese driving, he's pitting right now, and he came out on soft. And then the Ferrari, he heads into the pit, I'm up into P2. What worse can it get? How can it get any worse? All I have to do is keep it together. I can defend a little heavier, and that's about it. Like as it looks like, the worst it can be is like a P5, and that's what I hope. So I'ma just try to keep it all together, try to not lose too much time cornering, because you can see me, I'm playing super hyper cautious. I am not taking any risks, I'm making sure just keep the car on track, make no trouble, just keep it nice and smooth and consistent. Try to use as much memory as I can, because yeah, the car is adapting, I am losing fuel, I am losing tire tread, and yeah, the car is changing lap after lap, and I cannot sense that as good as I would be able to with the FFB. So I'm just trying to keep as much memory as I can, and tiny tweaks as this car is putting pressure on me. This, I'd say, is one of the more corners where I'm confident at, but
of course, of course,
I get pushed off, which is amazing.
This happens.
So skipping forward to some of the final laps, lap 8 right now, I'd say midway through lap 8, you can see we have the Norwegian driver just about behind, and I do an absolute skill issue, go all the way on the rubble and lose like a second of time compared to the Norwegian. So I'm a bit of panic, I'm in a bit of state of panic. I'm going to spoon curve right now. I have about 2.5 laps, or yeah, just about 2.5 laps. So I just want to minimize my losses, because I know everybody's faster. It's, I'd say, how to say, driving without FFB is like driving low on tread. You can't feel nothing. It is genuinely like driving with your heart fully worn out. So I'm getting some pressure from the Norwegian driver. I cover the inside of 130R, and I am pushing as much as I can. If somebody dies, it's both of us here, so we better make it clear. And we do get a bit of a tap, and I went a little wide, no big deal.
Why the fuck did he tap me?
I was pissed actually, but the reason is I'm very panicked and I don't want to lose much time. I'm trying to, again, conserve as much time as possible, and that tap was very unnecessary in my way of viewing it. So as I cross the line into lap 9, this and the next lap are what's after. 2 more laps and I'm done. All I have to do is keep it together, but Norwegian is sharp, approaching behind, is coming fast. And going into the turn 1 and 2, again, very cautious, not taking any risks, and he just pushes me off completely. And obviously I am fucking furious by now. I'm trying to regain anything.
What fuck ass players are these?
Being in a low SR lobbies, almost every second player is gonna be like that one.
I swear, just if I had my FFB, just if I had my FFB.
And of course, my Arab genes are kicking in. Just if I had my FFB, you would have seen what I would have done. But in the end, it's all talk, because I don't have it. So skipping to the final lap, pretty much half a lap remaining. British driver on my ass, the same Lamborghini from the turn 1 incident, turn 1 lap 1, and I am terrified, because I know it's a British guy in a Lamborghini. Somewhere down the line he's gonna fuck me up, so I'm just sitting, I'm just waiting for it. I'm trying to prepare to dodge whatever he can send. My eyes are fully concentrated on the radar, because I know what kind of driver he is. So I get the exit after spoon curve, and I get an amazing exit. Nowhere he like nothing compared to him. I mean, everything compared to him. He has nothing on me, right? So we are approaching 130R. I'm trying to do everything right, build as much of a gap as possible, because I really don't want to get fucked up right here. So I'm pushing as hard as I can. You can see, but I go a bit too wide. Small correction, driver on my ass. I'm braking. I try to cover it up. He's right behind there, and he just taps me off and sends me spinning right over here.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
To say I was pissed was an understatement, because if he was rat me, I would have choked the fuck out of him. I would have sent him into the wall head first and planted his head in the concrete.
What the fuck?
Only positive of this race was I got some extra DR and SR points. Trash ass lobbies, trash ass people, waste of absolute human fucking life. Wow.